To take a look at stories making headlines on Nigerian newspapers this morning. We've got a host of them, and the headlines are indeed varied. As we see, first off, in The Nation, on The Nation, that is, President Tinubu, it says, strikes multiple deals with Germany, Korea, and India. Of course, this is among the fallout of the G20 summit. Many have called it a successful one at that, with the breakthroughs recorded. World leaders are also said, according to The Nation, to have pledged more interest in agriculture as well as fintech, education and defense. All right, get details from The Nation. Let's check out Nature News. Nature News is also bringing up its own version, so to speak, of the G20 summit, especially as pertains to the environment. It says that stakeholders bemoan G20 summit's failure to heed calls to phase out fossil fuels as summit ends without bold fossil phase. Of course, this is among the mandate of the G20 elite group, and Nature News has some food for us to ponder on there. Nigerian News Direct is next. Northeast suffers $9 billion damages, this due to Boko Haram attacks, and this view is from the Vice President Kashim Shettima, talking about the impact of insurgency on the northeastern region that have, largely faced the onslaught from terrorists. Let's check out the Abuja Inquirer. The lead story there is bandits running riot in the FCT as communities suffer weekly attacks. That's on the Abuja Inquirer. You can get details there. We're moving on now to the Daily Times. Huge row over demolition of former First Lady's 1 billion naira plaza. This in Ogun State, and the news reverberated largely in many parts of the country over the weekend, talking about this controversial move by the Dapo Abiodun-led government in Ogun State. All right, that's the leadership, the Daily Times.
Right, so the leadership newspaper is the first that I have with me here.
Right, just before that, Ibrahim, apologies. This Nigeria is, bringing up this lead story on this Nigeria is the tragic boat mishap. We follow this story as well on Sunday, which claimed 26 lives in Niger State, with authorities at the federal and state government saying 30 have been rescued. More than 100 persons aboard the ill-fated boat as rescue operations continue. Really sad one there, with reactions by the governor. And finally is First News. Security agency probes Indian firm over $60 billion illegal forex deals. State governments, top politicians, commercial banks, some foreign-owned companies involved. Details there on First News. Ibrahim.
Right. So the leadership newspaper is the first that I have with me here. It has the kicker as at leadership Twitter Spaces. Stakeholders absolve judges, blame 9th National Assembly for Atiku Obi's loss at Tribunal. Electoral Act drafted to provide escape route for manipulators. That's according to Modibo. Stakeholders absolve judges, blame 9th National Assembly for Atiku's Obi's loss at Tribunal. Daily Sun is next. Tinubu Atiku legal battle shifts to the United States. Court hears Chicago University case tomorrow. All eyes will be on U.S. now. Tinubu Atiku legal battle shifts to the U.S. Court hears Chicago University case tomorrow. That's according to the Daily Sun. The Punch newspaper is next. National Assembly polls. Tribunal to decide for 100 cases and sit-ins. 7 Delta reps, others to no fate this week. Tribunal sacks Kano NNPP lawmaker, Imo PDP representatives. National Assembly polls. Tribunal to decide for 100 cases and sit-ins. That's the Punch newspaper. National economy is next. Nigeria's unending battle against illegal miners amid dwindling revenue. Nigeria's unending battle against illegal miners amid dwindling revenue. That's the national economy. Daily Trust's uncertainty over electric vehicles take off in Nigeria. uncertainty over electric vehicles takeoff in Nigeria. Now, as a Daily Trust, Business Day newspaper is next. NNPCL needs house cleaning to compete with peers. NNPCL needs house cleaning to compete with peers. That's the very clear headline there on the Business Day newspaper. And then last but not least, as Daily Independent, debt overhang, rising inflation may impede Nigeria's economic rebirth. Debt overhang, rising inflation may impede Nigeria's economic rebirth. That's a Daily Independent newspaper. Interesting headlines there we have this morning.
All right, Ibrahim, that said, we urge you to, of course, go on and check out these newspapers to get details of all the varying headlines. There's so much to ponder on. It's the first working day of the week. And, well, we'll just move on now.